Hi, this is Troxel. In this week's tutorial, we're going to go back and re-examine last week's Add a Video Track tutorial and see how we can modify it so that instead of just adding it in front of the first selected track, we could actually add it in front of all selected tracks. And to do that, we just had to make one slight modification, and that is, instead of going through the tracks forward, we have to go through the tracks backwards. And then we can eliminate the break, and we'll be able to add them in front of all selected tracks. So let's see how that's done. Here's our script once again. We've got our myVegas equals Vegas. We've got our Boolean variable track added. We're setting that equal to false. That way, if there was no track selected, we can still go ahead and add the track at the top. And then we need to go for. And then we're going to set an integer variable called I equals myvegas.project.tracks.count. We want the number of tracks that we have, and because it's zero based, we're going to go -1. That will start us at the last track. And then we have, as long as I is greater than or equal to 0, we're going to go through this loop, and then we're going to subtract 1 from I each time through the loop. And so now, to get our my track, we have a track, my track equals myvegas.project.tracks, and we're going to look at the ith track. Then if my track.selected, we're going to create a new video track at that index, which will move the selected track down. And then we add that new track to our list of tracks, and we set our track added equal to true. Once we've gone through all of the tracks, and we are going to go through all of the tracks this time, every time. If there still was not a track added, we will add one at the top, just like we did before. So let's see how this works. First thing I'm going to do is select tracks 2 and 4, and so we're going to expect a new video track to be added above both of those tracks. And you can see that above the audio track we had a new track added, and above this track we had a new track added. So we have the two new video tracks added. If I have no video track selected, then you can see it was added at the top, just like before. And if we start with an empty project, you can see that it was properly added, just like we would expect. So we discussed this possible error in the previous tutorial, and by going through the tracks backwards, we are able to eliminate what would have caused an endless loop going through the tracks forward. So by going through the tracks backward, we can now go through and add a new track above every selected track. You could make the same modification to the audio one that we did last week, and you'd be able to add an audio track above each selected track as well. So I hope you find this tutorial useful. Like, subscribe, let me know what you'd like to see in future tutorials, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.